Okay, today we're going to talk about putting a ball drop flare on a Baker 20 setup. First off, you can see that we've got our Baker 20 dummy. We've got our adapter above that. It's already screwed in place. You got set screws on multiple levels there. Behind you have your tension mandrel. And then we also have our setting sleeve and our flare plug off to the left here. So let's talk about the first thing. Kind of a running debate in the field is the castle, if you will, made for the lock spring. So we're going to show you, after much debate, and we've done some testing, how we feel the best setup is for this setup, if you will. All right, as you can see, the spring is basically flush right at the top, and you're going to see as we just show how it will set into the notch here. We don't want thread really exposed, we want it flush, and you can see there we're going right in that notch, and then we're going to go ahead and begin to thread in from there. At that point, that's how we'll install the mandrel on these tools. Now that we talked about how the lock spring should go into the notch on the castle, we're going to go ahead and show you. We're going to install our sleeve here on our Baker 20 dummy, if you will. Nothing to that. We're going to go ahead and thread that into position. Okay, now you can see the castle is inside the setting sleeve. As we come down and we go into the notch there, you should be able to get visual affirmation that you're in the castle. Okay, what you don't want to do is you do not want the spring to be up on top of the castle there. We want to see it down inside. Okay, now at this time we're going to go ahead and make it up. We want to feel the spring, we want to feel the thread engage, if you will, as it goes on there. You'll see it quit basically going side to side. You can tell now the thread's engaged. And we want to see at least 3 or 4 revolutions before we go any farther past that. Now it's definitely engaged. Okay, we want to talk about a couple things in advance. We have our keyway here. It's actually a slot for the set screw, if you will, but we'll call it a keyway. And our set screw. We're going to have that set screw only sitting inside there. So we're going to have to go ahead and pick up our thread and thread on. There's nothing to this. Okay, you can see here we're going to get maybe a couple threads exposed so we know we're in there. And we're going to line that set screw up with that key slot right there and then tighten our set screw. Okay, we're just tightening up our set screw. We want to see that good and snug. We want it very tight there. And once again, as long as you're in line here, which you visually can see, you won't damage these threads. And then we got our gap here. We're going to go ahead and make this up at this time. There are wrench flats up here, and just grab you a wrench and go ahead and start tightening up. And this is going to bring the actual plug downward till we bottom out. Okay, we're going to finish tightening up here. And we're going to bump it up. You can see we're tightening there. We want it snug, not too tight. We're tight here, there's no gap. We're tight here. And then we also want to go through and make sure that our set screws, all 3 are set. And we want to do a visual identification and find our spring still in the castle. It should be there. And this plug is ready to run.